Dear friends and viewers, Swagatham. Welcome to KNS Biochemistry channel. In this session, I am going to present you a topic related to nanobiotechnology. It is nothing but something about biological computers. So already we are using the conventional computers, and several advancements have been done in conventional computers up to supercomputers. But now I am going to give you some idea about a biological computer or biocomputers, or otherwise biomolecular computers. So let us move on to the session. Come along with me.
Biological computers, or otherwise they are called as biomolecular computers or biocomputers. So all the name says about utilizing the concept of biology in computer science. So biological computers, and these biological computers are highly useful today, because here we are going to use the concept of biology. Here in this case, the nucleic acid, the DNA molecule is used here as a biological concept in computers. Biological concepts in computers. So you can see the DNA molecule, and this DNA molecule is having all the capacity to transform the information from one generation to another generation. So it is a nanoparticle, DNA. The DNA molecule is a nanoparticle, but it is still having lot of information about your ancestral evolution. All these things are there in the DNA molecule. So bioinformatics is going to play a very important role in this biocomputers or biological computers. So what is this bioinformatics? This is a branch of science. Okay, it is highly useful today. It is the unified discipline. It's an interdisciplinary subject, unified discipline formed from the combination of biology, computer science, and information technology, that is IT. So combination of all the three gives you this field of bioinformatics. Here only these biological computers are going to come. So there is a saying by Frank Tekala: the mathematical, statistical and computing methods that aim to solve biological problems using DNA, that is a deoxyribonucleic acid, it's one of the nucleic acid, and amino acid sequences, the amino acid residue is present in the protein, and related information. So all these things are done with the help of bioinformatics. So biological computing. What is this biological computing? How to use the biological concept in computers? So that is called biological computing. So for biological computing you need the three important areas, three important disciplines are needed. So one side you need technology, that is biotechnology, where the biological concepts are taken. Other side, nanotechnology is also that is added here, because see that nanoparticles are going to play a very important role. So the role of nanotechnology is important here. So nanotechnology and biotechnology both are merging together, and you see that you will be getting a self-assembly of these two areas. So when these two areas are merged, you will get intelligent, evolvable, adaptive systems. And I see that these two areas once merged, they have to be connected with another area that is coming under computer science, that is information technology, IT. So when you are joining these two areas, biotechnology and nanotechnology with information technology, you will get self-replicating biological process. That is, biological process comes from biotechnology and they will be self-replicated as a process using computer science, that is information technology. And nanotechnology is also having some concept that is also merged here. So the systems at molecular level. So you will be getting the computer, that computer is getting involved as an information technology, where the role of nanotechnology is important because these computer systems are made up of nanoparticles at molecular level. At molecular level. So all the three disciplines are merged together. It becomes a triangle, merged together, and with this triangle, it is possible to develop biological computing. Biological computing, that is the concept developed with the help of all the three as a triangle. So before entering into this that is biological computing or biocomputing, we know that the DNA molecule, the DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, that is the basics, basic for this biological computers, or you can say biocomputing. So before entering into that, we are going to see the biochemistry background of DNA, the basics of DNA molecule, the biochemical properties of the DNA molecule. So that is the basic thing, everyone knows it. So we are going to just recollect the basics of DNA, biochemistry basics of deoxyribonucleic acid. Then only we will understand how to use this DNA biological concept in computers. So everyone knows that DNA, that is DNA is a molecule, nucleic acid, and this nucleic acid is there inside the cell, that is especially it is located inside the nucleus, on that is on chromosomes. So if you want to use DNA molecule for any purpose, for example biocomputing or by developing biological computers, you have to isolate the DNA from the living cells. That is extraction process, the extraction of the DNA molecule. Here you can see the extraction process of the DNA molecule. So you can take a test tube T, and see that inside that test tube a DNA strand is being extracted, that is a strand S. It is possible to extract all the strands which is present in the cell nucleus, and they are extracted in the test tube T that contains the strand S as a subsequence, and it can be separated. Then just to separate them from those that is inside the test tube that do not contain it. So finally you are going to isolate the DNA after extraction. Here you can see that in the first picture photograph, you see that the formation of the DNA strands. This is the DNA strand. You see that DNA strand is formed, that is, it is made visible by adding chemicals. So when you add these chemicals, if DNA is present in this sample inside the test tube, it's that DNA strand will be formed. And the second picture, you can see that DNA strands are formed here. These are all the DNA strands. Now they are inside the solution. You have to isolate them, separate them. The third test tube, you can here see that using a loop, so that you can isolate the DNA strands. This is the DNA strand. You can separate it and you can isolate it, and you can use it for any purpose, for biological computing, like that. So this process of isolating the DNA from the extract solution is called spooling. Spooling the DNA with a metal hook or similar type of devices. So you are isolated the DNA molecule. Now this DNA will be used for any purpose. And annealing of the DNA. This is one of the property of the deoxyribonucleic acid, that is DNA. What is this annealing property? Annealing process. So in annealing process, the hydrogen bonding between two complementary sequences. That is, you have sequence 1, sequence 2 here. S is strands, DNA strands. So both the strands are complementary with each other. Complementarity, you know what is in DNA molecule? Complementarity. If you have adenine here, the complementary base for adenine is T. Okay, thymine. Like that, complementary sequences. Both are complementary sequences. So the hydrogen bonding happens between these two complementary sequences, and that hydrogen bonding is weaker than the one that links nucleotides of the same sequence. So that hydrogen bonding is weak one. At any time you can break it. It is possible to pair. That is annealing the process. Annealing. This is called annealing process. It is possible to pair and separate. Whenever you want, you can join the strands. That is called annealing. Whenever you don't want, you can separate the DNA strands by melting. So annealing and melting, joining and separating. So it is possible to pair and separate two anti-parallel and complementary single strands at any time. So here you can see the picture A, two strands are there, S and S strands are there. By annealing, you can join them. They are joined by hydrogen bonding. And here also you can see that a primer is there, and another strand comes that is you are having complementarity between them, and you can see that they join together, and you see that double strand is formed. And here you can see that the third picture, see that this is one strand and this is another strand. See that you are going to join them. You see that you will be getting see that the synthesis of the DNA. So this is nothing but a new strand is being synthesized. So here the curves represent single strands of DNA oligonucleotides. Single strands of DNA oligonucleotides. These are all. The half arrow head. See that represents the 3' end of the strand. 3' end of the strand. This one. This is the 3' end. 3' end. This is 5' end. The dotted lines. These are all the dotted lines. Dotted lines indicate the hydrogen bonding joining the DNA strands. This is joining the DNA strands takes place, and we will get double stranded DNA. So this is annealing process, or melting is also done. This is it's a common property, that is common property of any DNA molecule. These common properties of the DNA molecule is highly useful. It is highly useful in developing biological computers. So here you can see that annealing process is an advantage for developing computers, that is biological computers. So this property of the DNA is highly useful. And the next important one which is useful for developing DNA computer is PCR, that is polymerase chain reaction. What is this polymerase chain reaction? This is actually a process. We have PCR machine also. Even during COVID-19, in this pandemic period, RT-PCR is used for diagnosis of the coronavirus. So this PCR is a machine, and in this PCR process, any DNA strand can be copied in number. That is, DNA of interest is taken here. DNA is first denatured. That is, melting the DNA is called denaturing. Then primers are attached. Primers will be there in PCR machine. Primers are attached to each strand. A new DNA strand is synthesized behind the primers on each template strand. So here you see that a primer is added. After adding primer, the DNA is being synthesized. And you see the number of copies are multiplied. 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8, 8 becomes 16, like that. So, and in the another round, first round one DNA is synthesized. In the another round, DNA is denatured. Primers are again attached, and the number of DNA strands are doubled. 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8, like that. Another round, DNA is denatured, primers are attached, and the number of DNA strands are again doubled. Then again, in one more another round also the same thing is happening. So if you are continued several rounds of amplification, that is swiftly produce large numbers of identical DNA fragments. Each fragment contains the DNA region of your interest. What the DNA of interest you have introduced here, same thing is copied in thousands and thousands of copies. So these copies are needed for developing biocomputing. So this PCR machine is highly important for biocomputing. So one way to amplify the DNA in a number of copies, for that PCR is used. So the PCR alternates between two phases. First one, separate DNA into single strands using heat. That's called DNA melting. Convert into double strands using primer and polymerase reaction. For that, Taq polymerase enzyme is used in PCR machine. PCR rapidly amplifies a single DNA molecule into billions of molecules. That is thousands and thousands of same copy of the DNA is copied. They are used in biological computers. So the role of PCR machine is very, very important here for developing biocomputing. So what is this biological computation process? What is biological computation? Sometimes we have ever wondered where we would find the new material needed to build the next generation of microprocessors, because today we have the microprocessors, Pentium microprocessors, and you see that they are all there. But have you wondered about that in future, maybe in this 21st century or the next generation computers, next after 5th generation computers, where are you going to get all the materials needed? Maybe from human body, including that is yourself. So in human body, where are the microprocessors available? It's nothing but human cells are having a very important microprocessor that is located inside the nucleus of the cell, that is called DNA. DNA is having the genetic information. So for getting any information from the biological system, you have to go for DNA computing. So what is DNA computing? Computation using DNA molecule. That is called DNA computing or biological computation. Biological computation. But not computation on DNA. You are not computing something on the DNA molecule. That is not biological computation. Computation process is done with the help of the DNA molecule, using the DNA molecule. That is called biological computation. So what this biological computation or DNA, that is computation using DNA, this particular process was first initiated in the year 1994 by a person who has written an article in that time, that is 1994. He was nothing but Dr. Edelman. He was the first person who initiated this computation using DNA, or we can call it as biological computation. He only introduced this concept. He wrote an article in the year 1994 on biological computing. So the inventor of biological computers, because the concept came after that only, from using that some concepts, the biological computers were developed. So the inventor of biological computer is of course Edelman. In his article he released in 1994, he described how to use DNA to solve a well-known mathematical problem called the directed Hamilton path problem. Goal of this problem is to find the shortest route between a number of cities, going through each city only once. As you add more cities to the problem becomes more difficult. So for this problem he used biological concept, biological computing. So based on that concept only, you see that biological computers have been invented now. So what is this biological computing? Biological computing means such a computing process which use synthesized biological components to store and manipulate data analogous to processes in the human body. The result is faster computing process that operates with great accuracy. Main biological component used in biological computing is nothing but the DNA molecule, deoxyribonucleic acid. So based on that, biocomputers have been developed. These biocomputers are not robots. They are not robots. Or they are not any spiritual, spiritual beings, but they work like a powerful computer. They are working like a powerful computer, but they have biological concepts. So these powerful computers, that is biocomputers, they have the CPU, central processing unit, as its brain. CPU is the brain of the computer. For these biocomputers also, CPU is the brain of the biocomputer, and the DNA molecule or its software. The software used here in biocomputer is DNA. DNA molecule is the software for these biocomputers. So these biological computers are the computers which use synthesized biological components, that is DNA, to store and manipulate data analogous to processes in the human body. The result is small yet faster computer that operates with great accuracy. So the main component here used is, that is the software which is used in biological computer, is a DNA molecule. So here you can see that the brain is the organ which is having neurons, and so this brain is acting as a computer in human body, and the neurons are having a biological networking that already we have seen about the structure of the neuron, and so that these neurons are used as a networking, and in biological computer the DNA which is present inside the cell is used. So in a digital computer, 10 to the power of 15 computations are done per joule of energy. In human brain also 10 to the power of 15 see that operations per second is done by the brain using neurons. 12 voltage of power is used in computers. 10 to the power of 14 operations per joule is done by the brain. So here see that computer is acting like a brain, and you see that brain is having neurons, and inside the neurons the DNA is there. So the DNA also actually functioning, and that can be used as a biological component in biocomputing. So computers can be again called biomolecular computers. Biomolecular computers, it is slightly different. So a biomolecular computer, or it is called a DNA computer, is a molecular computer that works biochemically. It computes using enzymes that react with the DNA strands, causing chain reactions like PCR, polymerase chain reaction. The chain reactions act as a kind of simultaneous computing or parallel processing. DNA computing is utilizing the property of DNA for massively parallel computation, parallel processing or parallel computation. So that is called the concept of biomolecular computer. So you can see the difference between our conventional computer, the ordinary computer versus the biological computer. So here this column is our ordinary conventional computer, this biological computer, in which that is see the properties. The components materials used in our computer is silicon. Here in biological computer DNA is used. Processing scheme is, you see that here you see that limited massively parallel sequential process is used. Here massively parallel process, DNA parallel. Then the current maximum operation here in our computer 10 to the power of 12 operations per second. This is 10 to the power of 15 operations per second. The quantum effects a problem. Here conventional computer, yes, problem is there. Here there is no problem in biological computer. Toxic components are present when you are using this. Yes, here it is, yes. But in biological computer there is no toxicity. Then energy efficiency, efficient. Here no efficient, but here energetically efficient biological computer. So these are all the comparisons between conventional computer and the biological computer. So what are all the advantages of biological computers? What are all the advantages? Why biological computers are advantageous than our conventional computers? So here you can see parallel computing is possible in biological because DNA can have parallel binding. The two strands are parallelly binding with each other. So that parallel computing is a very important property. So biological computers are massively parallel, so that is not available in conventional computer. Then incredibly lightweight. The DNA is lightweight when you use Pentium chips. With only 1 lb of DNA, that is, you have more computing power than all computers ever made. Using all computers ever made, same energetic, see that weight, work, everything can be done by 1 lb of DNA itself. That is enough. Then low power. The only power needed for using biological computer is to keep DNA from denaturing. So that temperature should not increase. Temperature increases, DNA will denature. So that is for that only power is needed. In ordinary computers, more energy is consumed. This DNA computer solves complex problems quickly. A DNA computer can solve hardest problems in a matter of weeks, but conventional computer cannot do that. Then DNA computers performs millions of operations at same time. Good for parallel computing, but even supercomputer in conventional computer, they cannot have the speed of a DNA molecule. Then ability to use large amounts of working memory area is very high, but even in supercomputer memory, when you compare the memory of supercomputer with the DNA computer, you see that it is far away. For example, 1 gram of DNA, if you take 1 gram of DNA, it can hold 1 into 10 to the power of 14 MB of data. 14 MB of data. 10 to the power of 14 MB of data. Or 1.45 trillion CDs. Trillion is billions of the billions into 1,000 times is trillions. So trillions is CD data, that is 1.5 trillion, that can be stored by DNA. That is 1 gram of DNA. So 1 CD is, what is the capacity of 1 CD? Nowadays we are not using CD, 800 MB only. 800 MB is the 1 CD. 1.45 trillions of CD. That much amount of data, MB, can be stored in 1 gram of DNA. You just imagine the storage capacity of the DNA. So that is why biological computers have become very significant, important in this 21st century.
Friends, I hope that you have understood something about the biological computers. The concept of introducing biological things in computers, that is bio computing or biological computing. Then we have seen about the DNA molecule, that is nothing but the blueprint of any form of life on this earth, and the properties of the DNA molecule. Then how to utilize the DNA molecule in biological computing. Then we have seen the advantages of biological computers over conventional computers. See, in the next session I am going to come with elaboration of these biological computers. Until then, it's bye from KNS Biochemistry. Be happy, stay home, stay safety. Thank you very much. Namaskar.